I have a day and a half of travel ahead of me. Lord, bear me strength. Chef's fucking kiss. Okay, I've just woken up. It's 6:24 a.m. I need to pack and get ready, and then I'll be going out for breakfast and maybe doing some exploring before my flight. So less reading will be done over the next few hours, but I can listen to my audiobook whilst I get ready and pack. So we can probably get about an hour in. And then there'll be a small break while I do some last minute exploring, and then I've got a long travel ahead. So I'm gonna see how much I can get read in. It's probably going to be over 24 hours because I'll explain in a proper intro in a minute. Okay, 6:29 and I am officially, well, I got out of bed. I've turned the light on, you know, the day has begun. I'm on chapter 9 of Deja Brew. I kind of need to finish this trip because I'm reading it for this trip, and there's only 6 hours 40 minutes left, so I'm hoping I can do that today. I am going to listen to the audiobook because I obviously need to be walking around the room, getting ready, packing my bag, but I'll have this out in case every now and then I want to physically read a little bit. Okay, let's pack. Why am I like this? I don't think this is all going to fit in there. Let's try. Okay, I've listened to a chapter of Deja Brew just while getting ready. I'm still in pyjamas / Spencer's t-shirt. Exactly. Yeah. He's so soft. Good morning. It is 7:24 a.m. I am in Connecticut, Litchfield, Connecticut to be exact. I'm talking quietly because it's very early in the morning, and today I'm going home. So my flight isn't until 7 p.m. Let me tell you about the journey. So I have to drop my hire car back to Torrington, which is maybe 25 minutes drive. Fine. So I'm gonna hang out in the morning, get some breakfast, maybe do some last minute shopping. I would like to go see a Barnes & Noble. I haven't managed to do that this week yet. Then I need to drive 25 minutes to Torrington, drop my hire car off, get an Uber from Torrington to the airport. I probably could have taken the hire car to the airport, but I was scared, so I didn't. So I'm getting an Uber from Torrington to the airport, which is Bradley International in Hartford, and that should take about 50 minutes. From there, I then have to wait for my flight, obviously get checked in, do all that stuff. I have luggage that I need to check in, and then my flight is at 7 p.m. My flight goes from Bradley International to Dublin, Ireland. I then have something amazing like an hour layover, that's it. Love that, nice and short. Last time on the way here, I think it was like 3 hours, it got delayed too, whatever. And then I'm getting my flight from Dublin to Manchester Airport, which should only take an hour and a half maybe. And then my mum is driving us back to her house, which is maybe 45-50 minutes, depending on traffic. Shouldn't be too bad because it'll be early hours of Sunday morning by this point. And then I'm gonna get in my car and drive 4 hours home. Okay. So all of that is to say, I have a day and a half of travel ahead of me. It's now 7:30 on Saturday morning. I anticipate I'll get home afternoon of Sunday. So I'm gonna be awake for more than 24 hours. We will be fueled by water and coffee and snacks. But my challenge is to see how much I can read in that time. Now I won't be reading for the full time because, like I said, in a minute I'm gonna go get breakfast and do some exploring, so there'll be a few hours where I'm not listening to anything, but I've already been awake for an hour getting ready and tidying up a little bit, but I don't think I actually read for that long because I was faffing over trying to find an audiobook for the plane. But I started on page 106? 116? I don't know. This picture I took this morning will tell you what page I started on, and I am now on page 130. So I didn't read a lot. I think that probably equates to 14 pages if I was right about if I was right about what page I started on. Anyway, I listened to Magnolia Park for a little bit, but not enough to warrant putting the page number on the screen, you know? So my plan, what I would like to happen is, I would like to finish Deja Brew today whilst travelling. I do have, like I said, I think the plane to Dublin is 6 hours, so I do have a 6-hour flight and then an hour and a half flight where I can physically read, and for all the times in between, like in the airport, I can physically read, but otherwise I do have the audiobook so I can listen. I'm reading Slewfoot, which I am obsessed with. Again, whilst in the airport, whilst flying, I can physically read. I'm on page 27 or 26, I'm not sure which of these pages I'm on, but I will have taken the photo. I think it was 27. And I did also find the audiobook for this one, so nothing stopped me. Basically, I'm thinking for the drive home, where I obviously can't physically read because that's dangerous and probably against the law, I can listen to an audiobook. And I can pick between this, Deja Brew, or I've got the audiobook on Spotify for Magnolia Parks, the third book. That's what I will be reading. Let's see how much I can read. It's just going to be an interesting challenge because I'm doing a lot of travelling and I can fit in a lot of reading in between those times. We did get an upgrade to business class. You know when you can put like a bid in and you like lowball hoping that they're kind to you? They were kind of kind. Now we're in business class, so I'm going to be super comfy reading all my books. I'm going to film. I'm going to look, like take a good look. I look fresh right now, I've just woken up. I mean, I've not. I am wearing makeup, don't get it twisted. I did not wake up like this. But I will not look like this in a few hours. I'm going to be so tired, but let's see how much we can read in the next, I anticipate. My flight lands in Manchester at 7:30 AM. Oh my god, so exactly in 24 hours. In 24 hours, I'll be in Manchester. I'll be back in England. Phew. But then I have probably need to get my luggage, be home, be back to mum's by like 9 AM. And then depending on whether I take a nap, get a snack, I don't know, am I going to set off immediately? I probably just want to get home, 10, 11, 12, 1. I'm anticipating, yeah, early hours of the afternoon. Early afternoon. Maybe let's say 2 PM. In which case I will be awake for approximately maths time. Yeah, probably. I'll probably be awake for about 30 hours. Let's see how much reading I can get done. I'll take you along for the journey. Good freaking morning. -12 degrees Celsius today. Chilly willies. There it is, my little automobile. Horrible car to drive. Look at the colour of this. I don't even know if that'll come up on the camera, but oh my gosh. It's just so beautiful. The most autumnal place I've literally ever seen. Absolutely stunning. Let's go get some breakfast. Look at my fluffy jumpy. It's got pockets and everything. Leaves. Oh my god. I didn't know that was there. That's so spooky. Do you think someone lives under the basement? I do hear scratching at night. Terrifying. It's very cute. Oh, doctor's surgery. Cute, but definitely haunted.
I will be the last to leave. I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound, I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you will keep. I fell in too deep, and as far as at least how
I'm back from breakfast. I read a few pages of Magnolia Parks on my phone because I also have the ebook on Libby. So I read, if I zoom out, it'll tell you exact pages. I read from page 252 to 269, just like after eating breakfast, just sat there. So that was kind of cool. I got to part 2. So I stopped there, chapter 41, and now we are back. It's now 9:30. I realised in my intro that I got my timings all mixed up because I said it was 7:30 when I was talking to you. I land at 7:30, 24 hours. No, I did not factor in the time difference. So although I am landing at 7:30, that's 7:30 BST. Are we GMT now? Oh, I think we'll be GMT by then. So I lose an hour. That's confusing. Not sure how that's gonna work. I'm just gonna ignore that because the clock's go forwards, backwards. Backwards, fall back, spring forwards. I'm going to ignore that because I don't understand that. That's not my business. But I say I land at 7:30 GMT, but that will actually be 2:30 in the morning. The time I'm currently on, which is Central Time, CT, is that right? New York time, I don't know. So actually, by the time I think I've got home, it will be 2 p.m. as I said, but that will actually be...
Hi, editing Jessit. I'm sorry, I'm crying. Why didn't I just do 2 p.m. minus 5? Look at my little brain go.
9 a.m. my time for how long I've been awake. So I'll figure out the maths once I get home. I still think it'll be more like 27 hours maybe, but maybe we'll just call it 24. 24 plus. Won't that just solve everything? Anyway, just thought I would explain myself in case you watch that intro and you're like, this girl is dumb. But it is now 9:30, as I said. We need to check out of here by 12, so I need to tidy. I still haven't tidied. I've got everything in one room, and now I need to pack and tidy. And my suitcase on the way here, my limit was 23 kilograms. It was 21, and it was packed full. My hand luggage was just a backpack, and I think I could probably get more in there, but I've obviously bought stuff since then. And now my clothes aren't cute and rolled and nice, they're like messy, worn clothes. So it's gonna be an interesting experience, but I'm gonna put my headphones in, listen to Deja Brew, and crack the heck on. Okay, by the way, you'll have seen the clip, but my breakfast was so good. I went to the cutest little spot. It was like a 15-minute walk down the road, and it's like 12 degrees, peak fall weather. It's crispy. I got some leaves. Where did I put my leaves? I'll get my leaves out later. I can't bother to show you. I found 2 leaves and I put them in my book. Can I take them home with me? I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, and yeah, and the cafe was so cute. I wish I had taken my physical book because I could have sat and read there for hours. Gutted I found that on the last day, but it's called Toast & Co. And I loved it so much. I don't know if it's a chain or whether it's a Litchfield CT only thing, but highly recommend. And I had brown toast with peanut butter, banana, crushed nuts, and a hazelnut cappuccino. Chef's fucking kiss. It was delish. Okay, I'm putting off the inevitable. I need to pack. Headphones are going in. Catch you later. Look at my pretty leaves. Stay safe. That's not staying safe. There we go. Airport fit. Gale jumpy sweats. Oh wait, Halloween socks. You can't see. Ultimate comfort. I packed my suitcase. Let me show you. Suitcase is packed. I can check 2 luggages. So this is all the things I bought whilst I was here, and Tressa de Emerald Sea. Perfect. This bad boy is filled. Hand luggage. I've not packed my hand luggage yet because it's mainly just like this camera, which needs to go at the bottom, and my books, and my books, and this chaos. These are the things that weren't very nice. Anyway, irrelevant. I have been listening to Deja Brew. I'm on chapter 12, and I can tell you what page that is if you just bear with me one moment. Here. I'm on page 149, and I still have 2 hours to check out, so I'm probably gonna finish packing and carry on reading. Okay.
We were leaving in September when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as I thought, maybe I pretended. Oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might.
Now to carry it.
Still waiting on that last goodbye. See you standing by the door, watching the leaves as they
Lord, bear me strength.
fall once more. In the silence we made.
Goodbye, woman in the yard. All that's left to do now is pack up my hand luggage, which means the book is going away. But let me tell you where I got up to. I'm now going to go out. Oh, I scuffed it. So I won't be reading for the next few hours until maybe I get to the airport or a cafe or something. So I just got to chapter 13. So I only did a few more pages, I think. Yeah, so now on page 164. I'm pausing for a bit. I'll see you on the plane.
Where's the Barnes & Noble?
I couldn't find the words to say. They linger in my mind. Oh, I wished you'd stay. Oh, I wished you'd stay. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. Time. You move like water and taste like wine. You're holier than I am, holier than I am. Gentle hands, gold-lit eyes. I am a
that was the longest journey, okay? The longest journey. You'll see that my clips ended whilst I was on the plane, because from there I then got into my mom's car, drove to outskirts of Preston, got in my car, drove 4.5 hours home, and by that point, you know, I was really done. But I did get a lot of reading done, or what I think is a lot of reading. Let me give you the stats on what I read on this journey. So it's very funny to me that I thought I was going to read Slewfoot. I did not. I read 0 pages of Slewfoot. I had the ebook of Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, the 3rd book, and I had the audiobook for Deja Brew. So those are the books, and the audiobook for Magnolia Parks actually. Yeah, so those are the books that got read the most, because yeah, I also had the audiobook for Deja Brew. This candle is going ham. So I started Deja Brew on the morning before I left America on page 114. Yep, 114. I was this far through. And by the time I got home, by the time I got home, I was on page 298. I read all of that. That's a chunk. It did help, like I said, that I had the audiobook with me so I could physical read and had the audiobook. And yeah, whenever I had 10 minutes, I would just quickly pull this out and read the book. So I read 189 pages of Deja Brew on my journey. I'm impressed with that. But the real impressive thing is Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. Now, I knew when I was on the plane that I had left myself about 5 hours of the audiobook left, which was the perfect amount of time for my solo drive home. And so that is exactly what I did. I had the ebook on my phone, so I could read the ebook whenever I wanted whilst I was in the airport, whilst I was on the plane. I started in the morning of when I was in America on page 252, and I read the whole book. I managed to finish it, I think because I wasn't listening on 1 speed, I was listening on maybe 1.3 whilst driving, that I finished it before I got home, and then I put a podcast on to keep myself entertained. I had this really good rule because I was obviously very tired, but didn't want to fall asleep at the wheel because that's probably dangerous. I had this rule where I had a bag of M&Ms, or like fake M&Ms, and every 15 minutes I could have 1 or 2. That was it. And then I had to wait the next 15 minutes. I was trying to give myself like a steady stream of sugar into my system so that I would stay alert and awake. And you know what? It worked so well. By the time I got home, my mouth was so dry. Anyway, so I started Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home on page 252, and I finished the whole book, which is page 608, I think, which means I read 356 pages of Magnolia Parks. I'm very proud of that. I thought that might be the case because I was so excited to finish the book. So driving was so entertaining, and that is the best thing to do on a road trip. Since I've been back, I've gone on another like day trip. So it was like 3.5 hours there, 3 hours back. And I just put on the best episodes of my podcast, and it makes the trip go so quickly. Entertaining. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about this. So I can tell you that in total, on that trip, I read 540 pages. Now, when I got that number from my spreadsheet, I wasn't that impressed. But I didn't read for the full journey, obviously. I'm pretty sure for a big chunk of the America to Dublin part, which was 6 or 7 hours, I did snooze? I'm not sure. And while I was doing that, I like to re-listen to Emily Wilde just because it gets me cozy and sleepy. So I was listening to that. I think I skipped some parts because I think I did fall asleep. And obviously I was eating and yeah, not reading for those portions. So I think I probably could have read more, but also my poor brain, I was so tired. I don't think I could have given any more than what I gave. So I think 540 is very impressive and I'm very proud of myself. It was a really, really fun challenge. I don't have any planned airport trips anytime soon, but it was very, very fun to film and a fun challenge to do. If you've got any other ideas of challenges I could do that are similar to this one, like how much can I read in when I'm doing this? How many pages? How much time? I don't know. I'm open to ideas. I love a reading challenge like this. I find it so fun. I like anything where I can challenge myself, and if I can make a spreadsheet, then that's just an added bonus for me. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you've made it to the end of the video, please leave the little aeroplane emoji, because that is what I was on. I'll catch you in a video very, very soon. Bye!
Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move.